So as the saying goes, when in doubt, zoom out. Now that's easier said than done when your market looks something like this and you are right at the bottom of the bear market. What is going on, everyone? Today we're going to be talking about some actionable steps to make sure that you perform better than 99% of all crypto investors out there. We're going to be approaching this question from two distinct angles, both from the internal side and the external side. And in case you're wondering where I'm going with this, stick around to the end of this video because you will find out how this whole thing ties together. So without further ado, let's jump right into today's video. The first thing that we'll be talking about is the entire backstory of this thing. How are you going to outlast 99% of investors? Well, we can first look at it from an internal angle, and then we can look at it from an external angle, meaning how we behave outside of the crypto markets. And the first thing is to decide whether or not you are a trader or short-term speculator, or you are an investor. And you can be both. You can be taking a short-term position on a particular coin, or you can be investing in another. So I'll actually be showing you my portfolio, my wallets over here, and this is excluding everything that is on a yield farm like GLP or on an interchain staking protocol like Stargate or Stellar. Fun fact, there are some farming rewards over here. I do not have a lot of gas on Ethereum and that doesn't warrant the claim, so that is a bit annoying. With that being said, I actually got rugged 2 times this year, but somehow my balances in Bitcoin terms still remained in a relatively good place, quite close to where I started with, and I think it's really due to the fact that I started moving into quality coins as an investor. So for instance, Bitcoin. So that's quite a substantial balance of my overall portfolio. And another one, of course, is Ethereum, with Matic being yet another one. Why do I tell you about this? Well, the reason why a lot of people lose money is because they trade the coins that they actually believe in or are investing in, and then they invest in random tokens expecting them to go to the moon when they really should be trading them. So if you're a trader or a short-term speculator, one of the most important lessons to learn from the entire bear market was to have an exit plan and entry strategy, as well as a set of rules to govern your actions. For instance, when we were playing with degenerate projects like Tomb Forks, we highlighted on this channel a really short-term strategy to knowing when to get out. That was never meant to be a hodl portfolio. Meanwhile, if you've decided that you are going to be an investor in this project, then due diligence has to be done. You need to have a reason for why you're doing certain things. For instance, why Bitcoin? A hedge against governments. In case you've been only looking at the cryptocurrency markets in earnest and haven't been reading the news headlines, the world is not in a good place right now. And that is why I'm continuing to hold Bitcoin under that narrative alone. Ultrasound money aside and store of value aside, that is a hedge against failure of fiat, failure of governments, and de-dollarization, especially with the changing political order. The other thing is Ethereum. ETH obviously is a smart contract platform, but what we do need to know is that layer 2s are on the way to help ETH scale, and even banks are looking at making use of Ethereum technology in order to carry out blockchain-based transactions, and layer 2s that are coming out in 2023 are only going to help with that. So that is another one that I'm investing in. So it's things like these, things that give you a reason to hold a particular coin that should be validated at periodic intervals, where you should be asking yourself whether that narrative still stands. And if it doesn't, maybe it's time to change your mind about investing in that particular coin. The other issue is that of setting expectations. So I actually personally know a guy who invested quite a bit into a DeFi small cap token. It went all the way up, they didn't take profits, and it came all the way down again. That was a loss of potentially life-changing money that we probably in hindsight don't want to make a mistake of again. So that was the idea about setting realistic expectations. Have an idea of where you want your portfolio to be and take profits when that target is reached. Don't try to say, I want more, and just stay in until the thing eventually falls apart, especially if you're playing with something that you really should only be holding for the short term, given things like tokenomics and everything. A lot of this might sound like common sense, but when we're caught up in the emotions of the moment, we tend to make irrational decisions such as these. We are excessively greedy. And to counter that, we need to also look at this from an external angle. The first thing that you need to know is how on earth does crypto fit your overall life setup? What is your situation and how much of your overall net worth is allocated to crypto? Based on this CoinMarketCap article, it's anywhere from 2 to 5% for most. I'm personally more risk tolerant because I have other sources of income. Plus, I'm still way off from retirement age. So that is the reason why I actually have about 10%-ish of my overall net worth in the crypto space. Now, of course, you could be more aggressive or less aggressive depending on how you go about it. But please don't be the guy who loses their house, 10 years of hard work or something like that over a particular coin that you believe in. So the second point on the external angle is actually going outside outside of the house. Like, what a concept, right? Going outside of your house, because that helps you step away from the markets. And as I mentioned at the intro of this video, we have seen some crazy volatility over the past 3 months. And if we had just ignored the whole thing, stepped away from the markets, you would have arrived at the very same point that we were at before the whole FTX collapsed. And that is again supported by the fact that perhaps if you are holding, say, Bitcoin, then you would have had an investment thesis that hadn't changed with the entire collapse. And with that, by simply going outside and stepping away from the markets, you could have missed this whole wave of media-driven FUD. There was a lot of uncertainty around things like crypto.com, Binance, all of these exchanges, as well as hundreds of thousands of articles stating that crypto is dead, which is a bottom indicator, by the way. So we'll be demonstrating this on this channel as we pivot into a more diverse range of crypto and adjacent topics. But the bottom line is taking a step away from the entire media-driven narrative and actually sticking around could lead to you being able to capture the full gains of your investment, as long as you make sure that the thesis for your investment has changed. Now, to most of you who have been watching this channel, this is slightly different from the hard analytical stuff that we've been doing during the previous bull market. Nonetheless, these considerations remain important, especially if you've just gotten into crypto in the past 2 years. Now they have a brief framework and set of rules to go about how you invest in crypto. The next thing that you want to check out are the key indicators that you will need in order to determine whether or not a cryptocurrency is a good investment for you. And believe it or not, we actually mentioned that in this video over here, where you can check out the easiest things that you can pick up to make $10,000 in crypto. With that being said, hopefully this video has been informative and useful. If you found this content of value, do let me know in the comments down below and consider subscribing to this channel, because we will be coming out with more similar content in the future. With that being said, thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next one.